Show our appreciation, Koppel is giving out employee pricing on select new models. Yes, you heard that right. Employee pricing is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. So please stop on in the store and see the team or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Some rebates to dealer.
Mother's Day is on Sunday, May 10th. Do you know what you're getting your mom this year? Stop procrastinating and get her the one thing she wants, a massage. The Body Shop in Lincoln offers all sorts of massages. All you have to do to win this Mother's Day is get Mom a gift card from The Body Shop. Swedish massages, deep tissue massages, hand and foot massages, and so much more. Buy your mom a gift card today at thebodyshoplincoln.com or stop by their office at 56th and O.
Nebraska is changing, and the decisions we make today will define what's next. The Nebraska Chamber Foundation has uncovered powerful insights about our state's strengths and opportunities. But this data only matters when it leads to action. That's why we've launched Go Big Future, a campaign to put these insights into the hands of leaders, communities, and decision makers across this great state. Our future won't just happen by accident. We must build it together. Visit gobigfuture.com to learn more.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. Spring sports are here, and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket sports news go now.
Happy Thursday, everyone. This is Nick Whyman with your sports update. The Nebraska softball team began postseason play with a victory over Michigan in the Big Ten softball tournament quarterfinals. On Friday, the Cornhuskers battled Indiana in the Big Ten softball tournament semifinals, with first pitch scheduled for 4 p.m. Central Time and can be seen on Big Ten Network. Staying on the diamond, the Nebraska baseball team returns home for the Cornhuskers' final regular season homestand with a 3-game set against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Carson Yassa will take them out as the Friday night starter for the Cornhuskers. The Cornhuskers battle their conference rivals this weekend and start the series on Friday with first pitch scheduled for 6 p.m. Central Time at Hawks Field at Haymarket Park. After just 58 pitches thrown across 3 innings, Kansas City Royals starting pitcher Cole Reagans exited the Royals' 3-1 loss to the Guardians on Wednesday with left triceps and elbow soreness. He'll undergo further testing and evaluation to determine the severity and next steps. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here at 92.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in Ticket Weeknights. Got Nick Whyman joining me to my left. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. Going to keep talking some NBA draft lottery, playoffs, and if we got time for it, maybe we even dive back into Husker football. It's the emotional times of the offseason where opinions are flying everywhere, and the fan base, you could argue, is maybe a little bit split on how they're viewing this upcoming season here. Facebook, YouTube, X, Al Channel 961. If you found it, that means if you see our faces, that means you found the streams already, but you can help others find those as well. Nick Whyman, how's it going, man? I got you coming in, filling another hour with me.
Yeah, I heard you. You've been a familiar foe, a familiar face to the airwaves here. I was here earlier today with Austin for the first hour of Old School, and then you filled in 4 to 6 for Old School with Austin.
Yeah, 4 to 6 helps. Shout out Kevin Meyer. Doesn't hurt to kick off the day off. Like I got here.
You got here at 3:50, and he beat you in here. I think
got here at 3:50, and I had 2 alcoholic beverages at 4 o'clock. So it was a pretty good start. Now, we're not getting hammered on air if the SEC's listening. It's a very small sample size of wine and a little bit of a smoothie beer Kevin Meyer brought down.
Interesting.
Today.
So it's graduation season. There's a lot going on.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is coming up here as well. So, yeah, it's a good occasion for. Always nice to see. Also, always nice to see him on Thursdays. But yeah, a good occasion. It's been all hands on deck for Old School. Is what it sounds like. Jay Foreman out this week. Load management. He's the Kawhi Leonard of the ticket, is what some Eric will say. He's out. Tristan filled a little bit. Nick Sainer filled in a couple days. I filled in a couple hours. You put in a couple hours there as well. Bach did some on Monday as well. So
Austin's doing the drive tomorrow with Rudy. So some new faces on some different shows. They're going to be on your lineup. Should be a lot of fun. We got Go Big Red Captain saying the crew is here. It absolutely is here because you're here as well. Go Big Red Captain.
This is the big three of the weeknights state. The big three.
Me, Nick Whyman, and Go Big Red Captain.
We're like Bosch, Wade, and LeBron. I don't know which ones we are, but it's a pretty solid trio to say the least.
Absolutely. So for Mother's Day, if you guys are looking for a beverage, a nice wine, you want to gift to your mother, make sure you take care of them. Kevin Meyer's thing was they're the reason they drink in the first place. Was raising kids is a tough thing to do. Go Kevin Meyer's Cork and Bottle. He's got some nice options for you. And especially if he's there, if you talk to him, he can run you down a whole lineup. He can even tell you what to pair with whatever wine or beverage you're drinking. Nick Whyman, you're not a wine guy, are you?
I'm not a drinker, so it's like this is all like I feel like you guys are speaking Spanish right now.
When it comes to wine, I said it before and I'll say it again. Like I am not going to act like I know the vocabulary around fine wine, but I can ask Kevin Meyer. And what do you think?
Exactly. Like
he will know.
It's like he's like the interpreter. Like he knows the ins and outs of all of it. And like when he comes in here, I hear him sometimes talking about. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but the way he's wording it sounds pretty good. So that's the way I see it. Like he clearly knows his stuff. He's not making it up. And it's always nice to see him stop in. A very nice guy too. Like I've met him only a couple times when I'm here on Thursdays. He's always like, "Hey, how's it going? Your name's Nick," and everything. And he's just very appreciative. And I obviously it's only 20 minutes of his week that he's in here, but he makes everybody kind of feel like home. And I think that's not just an act. I think that's just who he is.
Oh, yeah, he's a great guy. Go Big Red Captain says, Ben Holiday single barrel soft red wheat in his awesome bourbon made in Missouri. Maybe more Mother's Day for that one. He does say Holiday is usually 100 proof, so maybe not for Mother's Day. So,
yeah, maybe.
But anyway, hey, Father's Day, that's another option for you.
It's in a couple, was it? When is that? June, I think? June 21st?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a couple weeks after.
Yeah, Mother's Day first, and there's no way I can, I forget that one. We'll focus on Mother's Day, and then we'll get to Father's Day. But we did have some softball action earlier in the day. You got Nebraska women's softball. They got a win over Michigan. It was not, you could say, the prettiest game. with a final score of 4-2, but it does set Nebraska to play Indiana tomorrow at 5 p.m. And then I believe Wisconsin got the win. Yeah, Wisconsin got the win over Oregon. Another upset there. You got a 7 seed over the 2 seed. They're waiting to see who they'll play. Penn State, UCLA currently playing right now, although most likely it looks like UCLA. They're up 4-0, and they got 2 on base. And I was waiting to tell you what inning it was. But
I think it's the bottom of the third, I believe. Bottom of the first. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I mean, Oregon was the 2 seed, I believe.
Yeah, Oregon was the 2, UCLA was the 3.
I still think UCLA was the second best team in the conference. I mean, we've seen that time and time again where the ratings sometimes don't depict who the actual seeds are. I saw the bracket when it got released last week, and I saw Nebraska on their side, and I saw UCLA on the other. I said, great. That is more than likely the finals. I mean, you still got to play. It's very different from a double elimination tournament like we see on the diamond, on the baseball diamond. But UCLA, Nebraska, 1 game, winner takes all, I think it would be the correct, move on Saturday, especially if you're looking to find something to watch mid-afternoon instead of taking that, that Mother's Day weekend nap, or maybe if you're at a graduation party and you have something to watch. There you go, right there. Nebraska softball versus UCLA, but you still got to handle business. Indiana's a pretty good team, 42-13 on the season. They're kind of that oddball team out. Obviously Washington had the end of their season. They went on a slide. They were up there near the top 3 throughout the year. UCLA and Nebraska and Oregon kind of were the 3-headed horse race toward the end. Indiana was kind of on that second level, and they're a solid team. So you still got to take it all, play it like any other game. I think Nebraska softball today, Michigan gave them a little bit of a scare. They had the bases loaded in one of the innings, and Jordy Fromm got out of it. Emerson Cope with the 2-run solo shot pushed the lead to 4-2, and survive and advance. That's what postseason ball is all about.
Yeah, and for Nebraska softball, they didn't necessarily need these wins, but it's good to see them hold on and get in a close situation where things, you could argue, maybe a little bit sloppier than what we're used to. You don't go 23-1 through the conference without playing like really clean softball. And this one, it got a little bit ugly, but they still get the win, and now they do have a good team in Indiana. Indiana finished conference play 17-7 on the year. And to your point, the big 3, Oregon, Nebraska, UCLA. Nebraska was sitting there by itself with only 1 conference loss, and then Oregon, UCLA both had 4, and then Indiana with just 7 conference losses. So that should be good. And to your point, if you're hoping for just the best softball to watch, you're probably rooting for UCLA and Nebraska to pull through to watch a great matchup.
And those are 2 teams who are going to be hosting regionals.
Yes.
No matter, you can't punish teams for playing extra games, just like kind of, you can improve your resume versus hurt your resume, kind of like what we saw in NCAA basketball with a team like Indiana or Ohio State trying to scratch and claw to get into the tournament. With Nebraska, UCLA, it's just a game between 2 really good teams who are going to be top 10 seeds, going to be hosting regionals this time next week. So you're just looking for a good tournament. And if it is UCLA, Nebraska, hopefully you get there early. If you're heading down to College Park, Maryland, not a whole lot of seating out there is what I've been told. There's about, the park. Have you seen pictures of the park, Harrison? It is
I think I looked it up. It's not very much.
It's limited capacity. I don't know what the capacity is. I think it's around 1,000 fans. But reminder, Nebraska played UCLA here at Bowlin Stadium a couple of weeks ago, and it said around over 3,000 fans. What's the capacity?
2,500. That's what they have.
Well, still, you better get there earlier. You'll be standing for an entire 2.5 hours. So if you want to get there early, tailgate out, whatever you're doing down there in College Park, Maryland, still got to win tomorrow. But if you have a Saturday, there's a chance for rain in the morning also Saturday. So I don't know. That's another thing. Chance for rain every day there this week. So you always expect that this time of year with baseball and softball. We see it all the time with the regionals with postseason games and getting delayed, and then they don't start on time, and then or they get pushed back a day, or something always happens. There's always some shenanigans with Mother Nature this time of year, and hopefully that stays away for the next couple of days in College Park, Maryland.
Also, right here in Haymarket Park, because I know with the Iowa Hawkeyes. Oh, wait, do we have? Yeah, Iowa's home.
They play here.
We're going here. I know they're home because I'm going to that game. So I really hope they are. Yeah, on Saturday. I think there's a chance of rain too. Maybe it's earlier in the day, but hopefully that stays clear. But kind of speaking of baseball, Nick Whyman, if I asked you how many games could they afford in the regular season, if any, and how many games would they need to win in Big Ten conference tournament to still host a regional?
Baseball? I mean, I was going through this the other day with Tristan. I think it was Monday. So right now, obviously, they're just on the brink of being in the top 25. They're number 25. It's still, I know a lot of people are like, reactionary. You get swept by a 500 Ohio State Buckeye team who played their best weekend they've had all year. They were 21-21. They win all three. All right. Nebraska's bats didn't get going. Well, you have the Iowa games. You probably have to win 2 out of 3 there. Then you got Creighton. You probably got to win that one.
Yep.
And then you have Minnesota. You probably have to win that series as well. The thing is, what could help Nebraska baseball potentially sneak into that 16th spot, as crazy as it sounds, is you look at the teams Nebraska's played. USC's number 18 right now. They've, after that terrible weekend they had here in Lincoln, they've moved on and continue to win games. Nebraska, if they keep winning and then Nebraska matches up with them in Big Ten tournament play, beat them, get 4 wins over a team like that. Oregon's ranked number 13 right now. Nebraska dropped that series. Maybe you get them at Charles Schwab at the Big Ten tournament. You beat them. You beat another ranked team. UCLA, they've been the top team in college baseball all year. Have the best player in the nation, more than likely the number 1 pick. I wish Nebraska had them on the schedule, but they don't.
Yep.
Maybe that's the Big Ten championship game, Nebraska and UCLA, and Nebraska beats them. There's there. And then outside the conference, you look at Kansas. Kansas is number 7 now. A couple of weeks ago, Kansas, it was, oh man, they're just inside the tournament. They beat that Nebraska game. When they beat Nebraska, they've won series, and they're the top team in the Big 12 conference. They're number 7. They're having the best season they've ever had in program history. Then you have Auburn, who Nebraska lost to them. They're number 6. What if they win the SEC? Mm-hmm. So you have Auburn, who maybe wins the SEC. You could get some help because you can say, oh, we played the SEC champion. We played the Big 12 champion. And I mean, you obviously didn't win some of those games, but
you got one over Auburn.
Exactly. And in today's age of college sports, it doesn't matter if you win those games. I'm talking to you, Auburn basketball. if you just play those games and you played a tough schedule, it'll help you. And that's what the NCAA tournament's going to end up being too for basketball if they go into 76 teams with its at-large bids.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the bracketology.
Did they actually put out a bracket?
They said for last year's tournament what it would have looked like.
Well, Auburn's in.
So, yeah, okay. And they also did like the bracketology for this upcoming season. They have Nebraska as a 6 seed in Spokane, Washington. You know who the 3 seed is below them? This is like hypothetically. This is bracketology.
I'm going to throw Iowa out there, although I don't think they.
Ironically, it's Gonzaga, who is located in Spokane, Washington. So they get a home game, which
way too early, but fun to think about.
It's fun to think about. And then Nebraska with the new play-in games. Nebraska would play a first 12 team with it beating either Arizona State, who obviously didn't make the tournament this past year, got a new coach, or Clemson. That's what the bracketology would look like. So a team like Clemson or Arizona State, who more than likely would be in the last 4 or the NIT or the college basketball crown.
Right.
They'd be in the tournament. So it's the bubble scene.
So dumb.
So when we get into like late January next year, and we look at the bubble watch, I can't wait till it's like 11-9. Xavier is the last team in, or like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a team that's like was hovering around there. Like Indiana right now, they're only a couple conference games in. They're 12-10. They're in.
It's going to be the teams that had tough schedules in the Big East, the SEC, or the Big Ten, and those teams who had the tough schedules are going to get the benefit of the doubt despite having rough records.
That's like the Clemson team. They would play Duke. They played North Carolina.
But we played them.
Exactly, but they beat.
You're in.
Magic number 15 wins might get you in, and then if you play a tough non-con, I don't know. I really don't know what it's going to look like, but good luck to the bracketologist. I don't know how you switch it up after the formula has been kind of made. Which I mean, they added the play-in. It used to be 65 teams in 2001 when they just did the 116 team play-in. 2011 they add the first 4, which nobody really complained about. It's just like, oh, this is a couple of basketball games before the tournament. And now you're getting like 24 of the 76 teams getting the play before the tournament actually begins.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the NIT turns into.
Yeah.
And these other ones, like in the college basketball crown, do they still go even?
That's what I said. I said that the other day when we talked about this Austin on Old School. I said the crown went from 16 teams to 8. Are you gonna find 4 teams? The CBI tournament said they were coming back after taking a hiatus this year. I don't know about that anymore.
You can make it like the mid-major crown. Best bet.
But then are they going to still give them the incentives or whatever?
You could do like I don't know how you'd want to do it.
Well, the NIT's been around for years and years and years. I mean, it was before, it used to be the big deal. And now it's just kind of a mid-major tournament where you're no longer playing Madison Square Garden. Last year they played it where the Indiana Pacers played. I don't really know what it's going to look like.
It's going to just keep getting watered down until it ceases to exist, unfortunately, is the way I see it. I mean, 76 teams is unreal.
76, there's over 300 teams, but then I just think the play-in with 24, which is obviously 16 seeds, 11 seeds across. But you have 24, a third of the tournament is in the first 12.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to play 2 different locations now, too. They're going to play in Dayton, Ohio, and then they're going to find somewhere else other than the Eastern time zone to accommodate. So it could be played in, like, I don't know, Albuquerque, Los Angeles, or I don't know. It's also to do with TV rights because Turner had to redo their contract negotiations with, CBS, TNT, TBS, True TV. So maybe True TV is getting some more games because they usually get the first round and the first 12, and then that's it. So should be an interesting NCAA tournament when that comes around next year. And maybe if a team's on the bubble, I mean, maybe you're not on the bubble anymore. Maybe you're in. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you were on the bubble around 64, you're going to be in now, and we could spend a ton of time on it. My whole problem with it is it's going to de-water the regular season more. It's not going to get new, unique teams in there. It's going to get the same teams you see all the time, but they're just going to be average teams. They get a crack at the tournament because they're in a tough conference and they had a tough schedule.
Yeah, you're just
that's what it's going to be.
The big boys are just getting more
money, more time on TV,
more opportunities. Well, Duke's playing on those Amazon games. You just hear about that?
What do you mean? They got Amazon, right?
They have some
Amazon
games.
Prime?
Yeah, they're going to have some of the Duke games on Amazon Prime.
That's not terribly surprising. I think Thunder and Lakers are Amazon Prime tonight too.
They are, but I mean, but a college team.
It's unique news, but it's not surprising news. Like we've just hit that point of sports.
When's Nebraska playing on?
Well, we're always on Peacock.
Peacock or Big Ten Network. I still I'm not a fan of the 8 p.m. tips local time.
Oh no,
I get it. We're the West Coast of the Big Ten, but there are now West Coast teams in the Big Ten.
There are.
I got it. I understood it when they played. I mean, play it like do a 5 o'clock on 6 o'clock on the East Coast, play like Rutgers, like when BTN does those triple header nights on like a Tuesday. We're very familiar with those doing the Husker basketball post game.
Mm-hmm.
So start like Rutgers and Wisconsin at 5 o'clock our time, have the Nebraska game versus Purdue at 7, and then at 9 o'clock you can have UCLA versus Oregon or whatever.
Perfect.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like for the East Coast, too, they kind of get, if you're a Big Ten, like there are Big Ten fans on the East Coast. I mean, Penn State's over there, Maryland.
Rutgers.
And exactly. And you're watching Big Ten Network on some of those nights, and it's like, what is it, 7 o'clock start for the first game.
Oh, those guys on the East aren't watching
9 o'clock.
Pac-12 Big Ten basketball.
11 o'clock local time tip-off for the the Big Ten After Dark or whatever it's called. So, I don't know. That's also TV. I get it. 5 o'clock. Some people are getting off work.
Oh, it's got to be a nightmare. I would hate to cover sports on the East Coast.
I hate
for some of these games and some of these atmospheres because, you just get to some of those games and it's depending on where you're at. Like you're starting games.
You ever pass the Hawaii test for football season?
I've done it a few times. It's not one that I wear as a badge of honor. Like I'm going to stay up to watch this. It used to be, but not to the point anymore. I'm much more okay watching the recap.
I downloaded the Spectrum Sports app to watch some of their games. It's like them versus I don't even know, Sacramento State. And it's not on TV. So it's like you need the Spectrum Sports app to watch the game, which I'm just it's 2 o'clock in the morning and just have my phone up.
Let's watch some Hawaii football.
Trying to stay awake. Well, because it's usually the games where they're easily winning.
Oh, yeah. When it's fun.
They're a fun team, but it's my goodness. It's if you're on the East Coast, it gets over around 1:30 in the morning our time. If you're on the East Coast, you're almost cutting into your Sunday, and you better wake up, do your Sunday stuff, watch the NFL. You might sleep right through that if you're up too late. So
it's a full commitment.
It is a full commitment, and especially there is a Hawaii fan base here in Lincoln, Nebraska. I will say that.
Well, there's a Hawaii fan base in every state. There's
a group of guys. I can't remember what they're called, but they go to they go to the Air Force game usually in the Mountain West, and I don't know. It is what it is. I mean,
just some diehard Hawaii fans.
Maybe they're Creighton fans, and maybe they don't want to latch on to Huskers. So
Hawaii. I kind of respect that if you pick Hawaii as a team.
Right, it's
fun team,
fun logo, fun team. Yeah, fun. I mean, you got to stay up late though.
It's true.
They get the coffee run.
Speaking, I know we mentioned Husker basketball a little bit earlier. We'll get to the NBA stuff on the second segment. We did get the news that Nebraska basketball, no, not necessarily surprising, but will be returning to the Sanford Pentagon, facing Boise State I love the games in the Sanford Pentagon. I was pumped that volleyball did it down there as well. Have you been to the Sanford Pentagon?
I think I've been through there. I was up there with my family when I was younger, and I think I can't remember what we're up there for, but I remember passing through, and that's when because the Sioux Falls Skyforce played there.
Yeah.
So this is when it was what was it called? The D League before it was the G League.
It was
so
the D League.
It's like the Heat's team. It was like Dexter Pittman was there, former Texas center. He was huge. I remember seeing that. Ironically, I remember seeing a Sioux Falls Stampede versus a Lincoln Stars game up there when I was up there one time.
Really?
Crazy. I don't know. I just remember it was like there was nothing going on. We were snowed in, and it was like, oh, the Stars are playing in town. Tickets were cheap. Me and my dad went.
That's funny. My first hockey experience was also Stars. It was the Sioux City Musketeers versus the Lincoln Stars in Sioux City.
Oh, so it was a road game too.
It was a road game too, and I was rooting for the Stars back then because I couldn't stand the Muskies cheers. They were.
I remember because I think the Stampede they had like those the boom clappers or whatever you talking about.
Yeah.
They gave out those before the game to everybody. So I had some Sioux Falls Stampede. I don't remember if they probably popped, but it is what it is. But no, Pentagon, a great basketball atmosphere. I mean, Nebraska's seen it time and time again. They just played Oklahoma this past year. An Oklahoma team with Porter Moser, where we didn't know they were going to be what they were going to be for the SEC. They're playing a Boise State team who Nebraska played them in the Crown tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It always comes back to the Crown, Harrison.
It always does.
So
we won because we won the Crown, and it was the final score 79-69. It was all the way back in 24 in the college basketball.
Well, in Boise State, like you think like, oh, this is just I think they're going to the Pac-12 next year. I'm pretty sure, right?
I think so.
I have to get my conference realignment back down. Especially this time
I'm
around.
pretty sure they are.
So there'll be a Pac-12 of the new rejuvenated Pac-12
the
basketball.
State 12, I like to call them, because they're all state schools.
It's like Boise State, I believe, is one.
Yeah,
of
they
them.
will join the Pac-12.
So this will be a Pac-12. I misspoke earlier. I said Mountain West, but in recent history, they've been a pretty solid Mountain West basketball team. They've made a tournament a couple times. They've won 20 plus games. They went 20-12 this past season. They're a solid solid group. Obviously, Drew Fielder was their center. Nebraska was kind of targeting him. Ends up going to Alabama. They're a solid basketball program. I think that's a fun matchup. I think it's like November 15th when this is being played up there. I think Nebraska.
Yeah, November 15th.
I think Nebraska will have a huge fan base as always, but Boise it's a longer drive. I think it's like 18 hours. Austin said.
Yeah,
but still, I think it's a solid game not only for Nebraska but also Boise State, because if Boise State can beat a team like Nebraska, huge for them, especially in a conference where there's a lot unknown for the NCAA tournament. There's a lot unknown what the Pac-12 basketball is going to be like with it being relaunched or reborn or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and for Boise State, it's a good test too. It's a ruckus. It's going to be a neutral site, but it's going to be heavily Husker. There's a lot of Nebraska fans up in that South Dakota area for obvious reasons, and it's a good one for, I think, other teams to come visit. Like the Sanford Pentagon, it's just a great venue where you get a good neutral site look, and that one will be a lot of fun. And I had to look it up because the Pac-12, well, I call them the State 12. It's Oregon State, Washington State, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Utah State, and then the curveball, Texas State, hopped in there. It was the last addition to them. The new Pac-12, I don't know if it'll ever get back to the Power 5. I think we're stuck with the Power 4 with that group right there. But before we go to break, do you like that Pac-12? Like, is that intriguing?
It's interesting. I'm curious. I'm curious what it's going to look like for like college football season, because you have some interesting teams like Texas State.
Yeah, and those were just the football schools. They have some different tie-ins with like Dallas Baptist with baseball and stuff like that.
Gonzaga will be in. So like you're telling me Gonzaga and Boise will be a basketball conference game, which I hate because St. Mary's and Gonzaga is a historic rivalry in the West Coast Conference. Not anymore. Mm-hmm. Now Gonzaga is latched on to, Texas State Gonzaga. Like, that's weird. Like Texas, like I'm going to turn on the TV when conference play starts, and we're going to see Colorado State versus, was it San Diego State? And that is under the Pac-12 umbrella. When I'm so used to that being a Mountain West team, it's going to take me forever to get those teams down.
Yeah, that's a lot of it.
Then the Mountain West, go to the, what's the Mountain West look like now? Because I believe the
Mountain West is even
they have Northern Illinois.
You want just the football matchups?
Yeah, because North Dakota State's there, Northern Illinois is there. I think UTEP is potentially there as well. There's some weird oddballs for the Mountain West football coming up this year. It'll also be other sports as well. I think North Dakota State's only football, but the football one's really geographically weird.
Yeah, see the new blood's in there. So you have Air Force, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, San Jose State, UNLV, Wyoming, and then the new Ducks, North Dakota State, Northern Illinois, and UTEP.
Yep, I knew UTEP. So you could see UTEP versus North Dakota State, and that's a Mountain West Conference matchup.
Yeah.
Or like Northern. So hypothetically, you could see Air Force going to Northern Illinois in late November as a
Mountain West Conference game.
And then I can't. I mean, Northern Illinois not in the MAC just doesn't make much sense. But I mean, good for them. I don't know. The travel is going to be weird.
Well, that was the whole story there.
Hawaii's in the Mountain West, right?
Hawaii's in there.
So Hawaii, Northern Illinois.
You have Northern Illinois playing Hawaii for a Mountain West football game.
I'd like to see Hawaii go to Northern Illinois in like mid-November, or Hawaii go to the Bison Dome and go play North Dakota State. That's like I don't know. It's going to take some time to get used to and figure it all out. I mean, especially people who are, casual college football fans. Imagine, because some people just watch the NFL. Obviously, here's a little different being in, the heart of Lincoln, Nebraska, where there's diehard college football fans.
Right.
Going out east, let's go to like New York, where like the professional teams really outweigh the college teams. Explain to somebody, oh yeah, by the way, Northern Illinois, they're in the same conference as Hawaii. They'd be like, what are you sure? Like, no, I'm
well, so much of it, if you remember, it was like kind of the race to which conference are you going to go, and money was at stake there, and there were some teams that were kind of sitting in the mix, and you're wondering, are they going to join the Pac-12? And then we ended up with all these schools. So there was that weird era where it was totally non-geographical. Like, nobody really seemed to care what the geography was of it. It was, what's the most bang for buck when you saw that conference.
Well, and then the Big Ten one was even weirder because it was like, I think, wasn't it UCLA and USC were the first two?
Yep.
It was like those two were going to be the only ones. And then like
Oregon and
Washington hop on real quick.
And then the Pac-12 was like, what?
And then it just kind
of over for them.
I remember it was like a Monday, and I remember I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Days passed. Oh, Washington, Oregon are also on board, and all of a sudden, then Colorado's leaving to go back to the Big 12, and it was just very.
The Big 10 had a big part in killing the Pac-12.
I think it all started with Oklahoma and Texas leaving to go to the SEC.
But then you could say it started with Nebraska leaving to go to the Big 10. How far back we want to go?
You can even go back even farther. I mean, the Big 8 then became the Big 12. I mean, it's conference realignment, but like before it
was more geographical, and for Nebraska's a little bit money in the pot, but at least it made sense.
That, and then like Colorado went to the Pac-12. I could see that.
Yeah, it's close enough.
And Utah's there too. Utah, TCU, like they were in the Mountain West at one point too. Because TCU and Andy Dalton those years when they went to the Rose Bowl, some of the best helmets they ever had with the Horned Frog with the rose.
Yes.
Side note, those were some good helmets. But like it made sense geographically where TCU and Texas were in the same conference, et cetera. But I know nowadays it's just a free-for-all where you have Big Ten games starting at 10 o'clock Eastern time, and you got a Mountain West game potentially starting earlier in the day because Northern Illinois is hosting. It'll take some time to get used to, but
even for the athletes, the travel's crazy, and that's
sounds
the
like
part nobody talks about.
This is going to be a Sipple college football trivia, a shut up Sipple where he has to guess the teams for the conference for the year if he knows.
The Pac-12 is easier because you got all the state schools. The Mountain West is going to take a while to get used to, remembering that UTEP's in there now. Well, Northern Illinois.
Here, I'll hit you with one before you go to break. What conference is UMass in now? They're back in a conference.
American? I have no idea.
They're in the MAC.
They are in the MAC.
They went FCS to MAC. They were independent. They've been terrible.
Yeah. And
now they're back in the MAC. So UMass is in the MAC now.
Well, welcome back to the MAC, UMass. I love that.
I don't think they won a game last year in the conference. I don't think they did.
It's a tough conference.
They also they finally got their stadium. They used to play, ironically, in the Patriots Stadium in front of like 10 fans.
I was going to say how many people showed up to that stadium for those games.
And they couldn't paint the field because
you got to keep it the Patriots.
So they're playing, this college football team's playing with the Patriots logo for all their home games.
That's incredible. Well, that being said, we are over the clock here. We got into a little bit of conference realignment talk, but that's all right. We'll talk NBA lottery and some of these NBA games on tonight. Before we get out of here, take a Weeknights. Nick Whyman, Harrison Arens, 93.7 The Ticket.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Well, I'm an interior designer. A lot of builders don't have designers on staff. I'm included with our Aspen package and can make your home more custom to your taste, your needs, and your wants.
Rachel's our interior designer at Aspen Builders. She's one of the reasons that makes us really good at what we do. I'm Bob Benish, and we absolutely love how Rachel takes care of our clients.
I think the biggest challenge with building is a lot of clients are worried about all the choices. When they come in, they kind of have a deer in the headlights look. I like to ask people at the end, so what did you think? And usually they pause and they say, you really broke it up, kept it simple. We just did one meeting at a time. So I wasn't looking at all the decisions I had to make. I had plenty of time to decide things. You walked me through it all. It made it simple.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Right now in Lincoln, neighbors are facing hunger and homelessness, and they need our help. Your donation to Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach for Give to Lincoln Day helps provide nutritious meals, safe shelter, and life-changing support. Your gift goes even further thanks to matching funds from the Lincoln Community Foundation. Working together, we can make our community stronger by ensuring that everyone has access to nutritious food and a safe place to sleep at night. Give to Matt Talbot today or anytime through May 28th at givetolincoln.com.
When Nebraska businesses win, we all win. And the Nebraska Chamber is helping make that happen. Tackling the tough stuff like job creation, affordable and accessible childcare, and building a stronger workforce. We're stepping up so local businesses can step forward. If you want to see Nebraska keep growing, keep competing, and keep winning, get connected with the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Learn more at nechamber.com.
A single mom of 3 was facing eviction, struggling with a recent separation, health issues, and no job or childcare. She feared losing everything, especially her children. But then she found support in her community made possible by Nebraska Children and Families Foundation. She was connected to support. By the end, her bills were paid, she loved her new job, and hope replaced fear. This is what the Nebraska Children and Families Foundation does. They lift up young people and families so they can find stability, build brighter futures, and power a stronger workforce. Ready to help make more stories like this come true? Support the Nebraska Children and Families Foundation on Give to Lincoln Day.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And wow, what a great spring it has been here. We've had record sales happening at Koppel. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is giving out employee pricing on select new models. Yes, you heard that right. Employee pricing is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. So please stop on in the store and see the team or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Some rebates to dealer.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of it at the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market. Award-winning old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors of smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausages for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, or smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2600. 888-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long on the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket.
Now's the time to lock in the best deal of the year on a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Sprayer Early Order Program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See and Spray. Target weeds with precision and cut herbicide use. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Don't forget, secure early order savings and get the sprayer that maximizes every pass. Visit your Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Love local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits, or looking for a great non-alcoholic option? Then raise a glass at SIP Nebraska's 13th Anniversary Spring Festival, May 8th and 9th at Mahoney State Park. There's truly something for everyone with unlimited tastings, live music, great food, and unique experiences like skydiving demos, buzzed bingo, goat yoga, and fun lawn games. Plus, explore local artisans and take your favorites home. Make a weekend of it. Lodging is available right at the park. Grab your ticket package now at sipnebraska.com.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in Harrison Arens and the one and only CFL enthusiast Nick Whyman to my left. 402-464-5685. Sort of him and text line always open to you. We're going to talk some NBA lottery and the teams that have a legitimate chance to win the lottery this year. Nick Whyman, I just want you to tell me, which team do you really want to see get that lottery pick, number one overall? The best chances are the Washington Wizards. Well, when I say the best chance, a lot of these are going to be tied for the best chance. But the Washington Wizards, 14% chance. Same thing with the Indiana Pacers. Brooklyn Nets, the Utah Jazz drops to an 11.5% chance. The Kings, same thing, 11.5%. Grizzlies got a 9% chance. The Hawks, 6.8%. Dallas Mavericks, 6.9%. My Chicago Bulls, 4.5% chance. Milwaukee Bucks, number one. I don't think they have a possibility of getting a number one. They have the possibility of getting a top 4 pick. And the Golden State Warriors, 2% chance. OKC Thunder, 1.5% chance. And the Miami Heat and the Hornets both with just a little bit around 1% chance. Who would you want of all those teams that just listed to win the NBA lottery?
Well, before you get into that, you mentioned the CFL. Preseason starts May 18th, buddy. It's Monday at 2 o'clock on the 18th, Saskatchewan and Calgary.
I know my talent. That's why I said it.
Dang right. But I would say out of those teams, I don't like the whole lottery system where, like, the last couple of years we've seen it where it's like, oh, they gave the Spurs the pick so they can get Tim Duncan's replacement, or, oh, they traded Luka, so we'll give him Cooper Flag.
Mm-hmm.
I like when the talent is spread out across the league. So I'm going to throw out a team that is in desperate need of something. It's not the Chicago Bulls. I'm sorry. Put your hand down if you're watching on the stream. It's the Brooklyn Nets.
Yes.
I think the Brooklyn Nets, partially their fault, I would say, as a franchise. Over the years, they bring in Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce and company. That blows up. That super team blows up in their face.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have a little bit of, D'Angelo Russell. They had a really fun team with Jared Dudley. I don't know why. They had a lot of...
Jared Allen was the guy for a minute.
They had a really fun team. They had those cool uniforms. Like they brought them back this year.
I love the Knicks uniforms. I've never had problems with them.
I don't know. It's black and white, but they have the ones with the gradient down the side.
Yeah, those are clean.
They brought them back this year, but they were never on TV because the Brooklyn Nets were not good. I think they have a solid coach. The thing is they also, after I mentioned the Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce era, well, they put all their eggs in the basket and they get Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden.
I think they played for like 12 games together too. When they were all on the court.
On paper, I remember that it was the summer of 2019. That free agency was nuts. And I remember the New York Knicks were the people that everyone thought Kevin Durant and Kyrie are going there. Well, they go just down the road to
the
Nets. And at the time, I was like, wow, this is cool. And this is a very...
They had Steve Nash as the head coach.
Yes, this was just such an interesting situation. And think Ben Simmons then around. Ben Simmons
They
came late.
shipped
They
him.
shipped him later
because James Harden ended up on that Nets team, and Ben Simmons ended up on
so
the
that's what I mean.
76ers.
It blew up in their face so fast for many reasons. Guys weren't hurt. Guys got hurt. Guys weren't playing for many different reasons, and then they all just kind of ended up elsewhere. Kyrie goes to Dallas. Harden ends up going to Philadelphia, and Durant ends up going to the Suns, which I remind you, that trade happened like in the middle of the night. I remember when that happened. But then, since then, they've just been kind of stockpiling picks, figuring things out, and they're in desperate need of finding an it guy. Like, they have Nicholas Claxton. I think he's a pretty good defensive center. Outside of that, I mean, there's not a whole lot on the roster. Like, if they can land like a AJ DeBonsa or a Darren Peterson, and that can be
Even a
like
Boozer.
Exactly, something just to like solidify, like, hey, we have a chance. Like I think they're doing what they can with the Nets. I think they haven't had draft picks because they lost a lot of those picks.
Boy, they really don't have anybody that's.
Drew Timme was playing.
worthy
Drew
on that roster.
Timme was playing big minutes for them. Yes, the Gonzaga man, Drew Timme. He was playing big minutes for them.
I'm a big fan of Drew Timme.
I was. He was a fun player, but NBA caliber. I mean,
No, I don't think he was, and that's why he hung around as long as he did in college.
And this, I mean, like, they had D'Angelo Russell. They had it there. Kenny Atkinson was their coach for a bit too.
Yeah.
Who's now obviously with the Cavs.
What's crazy about that Nets run is, like, when you had that era where you had Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, they were winning games.
They were in the playoffs. It's just
They just didn't play together very long because
and-
they had load management, all sorts of things going on, and Kyrie Irving holding private practices because he didn't like Steve Nash. Like, there was so much drama.
And Nash got fired in like the whole midst of it, pretty much right
yeah,
after.
and that was the guy they wanted. Because I think who was before Steve Nash?
It was Kenny Atkinson.
It was Kenny, and they got Atkinson essentially fired, or at least that was my kind of thought.
They let him go. He ends
Yeah.
up going to, because he goes to Golden State,
Yep.
whatever, as an assistant. Now, guess where he's coaching right now as we speak for the Cavaliers, who are playing the Pistons right now in the playoffs. So, like I said, it's a franchise where not only that era has so much in hindsight, but even back to 2010, they had Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was their coach.
Yeah.
He had the famous where he had the Dr. Pepper or whatever, and he's like, hit me, and then knocks the pop of the soda onto the court so he gets a free timeout against the Lakers. I remember watching that live, and I thought it was hilarious. But like they've had NBA, like, really good coaches. I think they just have to figure out and get some superstar player to potentially give them some kind of, just give them something. I think that Utah Jazz is another team. Utah Jazz have had some solid teams.
I just feel like they've been playing the tank too long.
They have what's it called? They had Donovan Mitchell. They lost him. They have Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
I think they have a solid.
They got some pieces around it. I mean,
I don't know.
The Utah Jazz just don't excite me for whatever reason. And quickly, because we mentioned the Cavs, they did lose tonight to the Pistons. 107-97 was the final score of that game. And now Detroit leads the series up 2-0, unfortunately, for Kenny Atkinson.
If they want to see like a superstar, like a rookie sensation go to a good team, I'd say like the Pacers. Because then you can get, like, imagine like an AJ DeBonsa,
Haskell, Tyrese Halliburton, and you put Dybonsa there.
or even
like that,
like a Boozer or something like
even
that.
A-Cup.
Exactly.
A-Cup
You
on that
throw a
roster.
scorer in that, and then you have like an Andrew Nemhard and TJ McConnell coming off the bench. I mean, let's be honest here. If the Pacers were healthy, they wouldn't have this bad of a season. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely true. And if you're looking for a fit that can make them competitive, yes, I like the Kings to get it. I mean, obviously, I'd pick my Bulls selfishly, but there's such a mess right now. There's nothing, I don't know, in this draft that you could really draft to save it. The Sacramento Kings I always just kind of feel for, because me and Austin were talking about this, have really struggled on draft picks. I mean, their last big hits were they drafted Halliburton, right?
Yes.
And they let him go.
Let him go.
Yikes.
At the time,
they drafted De'Aaron Fox.
At the time, we didn't know Tyrese Halliburton was going to be that guy.
No, but he was having some problems there, and they chose to go with De'Aaron Fox, and then eventually moved on from him too. But they had those two, but they were hits. Like De'Aaron Fox, good player, maybe not elite like you thought, but a good player, and he shelled out the Spurs in their last win. Otherwise, you have to keep going back. Like, you probably have to go to Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, they had what? Marvin Bagley was probably in there.
Yeah, but obviously that didn't pan out.
I'm just thinking of the bad picks they've had. They've had different GMs, they've had different philosophies in there, and they have a very fun, like, they had a very fun team when they made the playoffs with Malik Monk and company that year. Light the Beam became a huge sensation. Lose to the Warriors, a more experienced group.
They just made some questionable moves. I remember when they hired Luke Walton,
well, and then they
former
got
Lakers head coach, who really struggled, and the Kings brought him in, and that was a disaster.
And then they had obviously they got kind of the Bulls team with Zach LaVine and
Yep.
DeMar. And those
DeRozan.
guys still can't stay healthy and stay on the floor, and they're just kind of treading water.
Just the team I always pick when I'm playing my NBA 2K rosters that aren't the Bulls. Like when I feel the need to save a franchise, now I'm always trying to save the Bulls franchise. But Sacramento Kings, I just feel like they could desperately use a good hit and hold on to that pick and develop them. Here's a little bit of trivia for you. Who was the second pick for the Kings all the way back 2010 when they did draft Marcus Cousins?
Jimmer Fredette.
I said Jimmer Fredette too. That was my first.
I just thought Jimmer Fredette.
Another big, really good big for a while. You could compare him to a Roy Hibbert. He's played for the Miami Heat before, probably when he was really
wasn't good. What played for the Heat? Ronnie. It's not Ronnie. I thought Ronnie Turiaf.
No, it's not Ronnie.
So 2010, where he was a big man. He played for the Heat for a bit. It wasn't Joel Anthony. Played for the Heat. Hassan Whiteside. Yep. And he
was another good pick.
Well,
but game transition.
He was a huge like development guy, and he goes to Miami, and Miami got him for nothing. And
had some good years there.
And he had I have a Hassan Whiteside what do you call it? Like shirt jersey, the white one. I have one of those as well. So I mean, yeah, like he went there and made a name for himself. Kind of that was pretty much where he was. But yes, Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, those are like I'm just going through the picks, but I also was like Jimmer Fredette, and then I was like I couldn't think of who it was until the Heat hinter was the best one I could get. But yeah, Hassan Whiteside.
Ronnie Turiaf, I remember. Do you remember Ronnie Turiaf? He was on like the Lakers.
Very vaguely.
Lakers,
would not
Clippers,
unless you said his name.
Ronnie, he had like the dreads, number 21. That when you said Roy Hibbert, I thought of a guy who just bully balled, and that was Ronnie Turiaf.
It was him to a degree. That's a good comparison. With that being said, we do got to throw it to break. We'll probably keep it on NBA. Don't go anywhere. 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long on the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for a place to host company get-togethers, team meetings, or group events? Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln is the perfect place to host your gathering with private bays available to meet with clients while you swing the sticks and improve your game. Back 9 Golf offers traditional golf opportunities while also providing fun games and activities for non-traditional golfers on their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators. Learn about their corporate memberships today and gather your favorite groups together at Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln, just off of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Lincoln is full of great golf courses in a state that is getting national recognition for exceptional golf. Friend Country Club is worth the drive, just 40 minutes from Lincoln and home to one of the state's most respected 9-hole courses. Enjoy their restaurant with popular items like a 14-ounce ribeye, 10-ounce sirloin, or chicken fried steak. Open Thursday through Saturday from 5:30 to 10 p.m. Expand your horizons with a trip to Friend Country Club, just 40 minutes southwest of Lincoln. It's worth a visit.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe it's less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering the magic in life. I'm Ryan Buck, your Lincoln, Nebraska, Edward Jones financial advisor. Count on me for your financial strategies that can help support a life you love. Because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. Contact me today at 402-483-0377. Again, that's 402-483-0377. And let's find you rich. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
3, 2, 1. The drop is live. Screens freeze everywhere, except yours. You've been training for this moment. And with Allo Fiber's zero-lag precision, you strike first. No lag, no limits, just speed. Can your internet provider do that? Stay ahead of every drop. Visit allofibers.com/all-in.
Right now in Lincoln, neighbors are facing hunger and homelessness, and they need our help. Your donation to Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach for Give to Lincoln Day helps provide nutritious meals, safe shelter, and life-changing support. Your gift goes even further thanks to matching funds from the Lincoln Community Foundation. Working together, we can make our community stronger by ensuring that everyone has access to nutritious food and a safe place to sleep at night. Give to Matt Talbot today or anytime through May 28th at givetolincoln.com.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
May is National Electrical Safety Month. LES is here to help you stay safe around electricity with simple, practical tips. Learn how to protect yourself, your home, and your loved ones at les.com/safety.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of it at the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market. Award-winning old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors of smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausages for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, or smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Wrapping things up here, we talked to the NBA lottery. Who do we want to get it the most, just out of our own bias? But wrapping things up, I think it'd be fun. Do a little bit of Would You Rather. We did this with Austin earlier in the day, and I'm curious what your answers would be. I'm going to give you 2 players, and you're just going to take the best overall player that you would like to start your franchise with. Luka Doncic or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
SGA.
Okay, I said SGA too. Why?
Because he's just winning basketball, guaranteed winning. He's he's healthy. He's scoring. I think last night was his first time since the 2023 playoffs he scored less than 20 points in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Luka's hurt right now. We saw him what he did in the finals when he was there with the Mavericks. I think SGA just the perfect embodiment of Oklahoma City basketball and elevates everybody around him. Because without him, I don't think that team drives the way they do.
No, I think Luke has better playmaking ability as far as his passing goes, but to deny the efficiency that is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and if you want to say it's all because of free throw merchant, sometimes he does flop and he gets the whistle. Other times he's just a killer. He's such a good finisher. He is your trump card every time you need a bucket. He can get that mid-range jumper off at just about any time. So it's a real problem. And I see Chris Raff. He is in Lincoln. He will be alive with us for the next hour. So we better wrap things up here shortly so we can let him through the door there. But I'll give you one other one, and then we'll get out of here. Donovan Mitchell or Jalen Brunson?
This is tough.
I know.
These are so similar players. I will go Donovan Mitchell. I will go Spida. Donovan Mitchell. I've always liked him in college. Jalen Brunson, I think, is really good just because of the system he's in, what he's done. I think Donovan Mitchell, if you put him and build a franchise around him and put the right pieces around him, they're doing it right now with the Cavs to an extent. It's not working out right now where they're in the second round of the playoffs, but I think I'm going to go Donovan Mitchell.
I like it. Well, with that being said, we're going to get out of here. We got to let Chris Raff in the door here. He's live for Raff's Good Take on sports on 93.7 Ticket. He'll be coming up next. Then we'll have DeMornay Pearsonell. Unless he pulls up an impromptu visit. Maybe he's live in studio as well, but if not, he'll be streaming in. And then we'll cap things off, as always, with Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman, the man to my left. Appreciate everybody listening. Don't go anywhere. We'll keep Ticket Weeknights rolling.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge.